Welcome. Hello, everyone. I'm Matthew Crook, Managing Director at Access People. We're introducing our new AI-enabled HR software experience, Access PeopleHR Evo. For over 30 years, Access has been at the forefront of business technology, driving innovation and empowering our organizations to achieve more. We've experienced 17 years of consecutive growth, a testament to our commitment to delivering exceptional solutions. With a global team of over 7,000 employees, we serve more than 120,000 customers across various industries, helping them to become more productive and efficient. Our dedication to our customers, coupled with our continuous expansion of products and services, has solidified our position as a leading provider of business technology. Now, we're introducing Access PeopleHR Evo, designed specifically to address the unique challenges of HR professionals like you. Imagine the feeling of being a HR leader with everything you need at your fingertips. With our new HR software experience, that's exactly what you get. In today's webinar, we'll delve into exciting new features of Access PeopleHR Evo. You'll learn how our AI-enabled software can transform your HR processes, improve efficiency, and drive business growth, ultimately giving you the freedom to do more. You'll witness a product demo showcasing the capabilities of PeopleHR Evo, as well as hearing from our expert panel discussion. We're thrilled to show the exciting new innovations that have seen us recognised as the biggest mover in the Fosway 9-grid core leader space for cloud HR. It's not magic, it's Evo. AI and analytics are revolutionising the HR landscape. PeopleHR Evo is at the forefront of this transformation, offering a suite of tools that leverage AI analytics to free up time, unlock productivity, and improve employee experiences. Now, I'm excited to share our vision for and discuss how Access PeopleHR Evo can specifically address the challenges you face. I'll also provide insights into the exciting future of HR technology and how PeopleHR Evo is leading the way. At Access, we've always been grounded by our customers' needs. Our vision has remained steadfast, and that is to provide flexible solutions that free our customers to do more of what's important to them. We're proud to be the preferred HR solution for thousands of modern businesses. Our commitment to delivering high quality, secure, and innovative products has helped us achieve consecutive double-digit year-on-year growth. Here's why PeopleHR is the right choice for your business. We have over 6,000 satisfied customers who rely on PeopleHR to manage their HR processes. Over 700,000 users trust PeopleHR to connect, engage, develop, and retain top talent. Over 100% SaaS delivery means you can access PeopleHR from anywhere, anytime, and enjoy the lowest possible cost of ownership. With our strong portfolio of connected solutions and a commitment to innovation, we're well positioned to help your business thrive in today's competitive landscape. Small and medium-sized businesses face many unique challenges. Limited resources, tight budgets, and rapid growth can make it really difficult to keep up with HR's best practices. HR teams are under immense pressure to do more with less. And with global uncertainty and an immediate need to digitize, capturing new ways to be efficient and achieve growth is essential. We understand the business marketplace and know that one challenge every business has is time. Our desire to achieve more every day is constantly thwarted by blockages such as waiting for the right data, repetitive manual admin tasks, or seeking advice from experts. The future of efficiency and productivity is to be able to do all this in the moment. That's why we're excited to unveil PeopleHR Evo, a comprehensive HR suite designed specifically for businesses like yours. Powered by Access Evo, our AI-embedded software, PeopleHR Evo, connects you to exactly what you need, right when you need it. We're proud to partner with Microsoft to drive innovation in the era of AI. And at Access, we're committed to implementing AI responsibly, ensuring that your data remains private, secure, and confidential. Access Evo transforms how AI and analytics empower HR and business leaders. With Access PeopleHR Evo, you can now manage HR, payroll, performance, and employee engagement all in one unified AI-powered solution. With its intuitive interface, advanced AI features, and robust analytics, PeopleHR Evo can help you streamline your processes and scale your HR operations, giving you the freedom to do more. Our flexible suite allows you to start anywhere and go everywhere, easily scaling and adapting to your business's changing needs. Imagine a world where your HR department is efficient and your employees are happy and your business is thriving. With Access PeopleHR Evo, that world is within reach. Join us now as we explore the exciting features of PeopleHR Evo and discover how it can help your business achieve its goals. We're confident that you'll see why PeopleHR Evo is the right choice for your business. Now, let's dive deeper into how Access PeopleHR Evo can benefit your organization and see each of these fantastic features in action.
PeopleHR incorporates AI technology and actionable analytics into the PeopleHR suite and brings all of your Access applications together in one place with one place to go and one username and password. Firstly, let's have a look at how PeopleHR can be used to empower employees to use things like self-service. First of all, we're going to have a look at the mobile application. This enables employees to use self-service on the go. It's a native mobile app, which means it's downloadable from the App Store or Google Play, and it allows employees to do basic things like review their holiday balance, claim expenses, request holidays, and even manage their personal details all at a touch of a button directly from their mobile device. Employees also have the option of using additional mobile apps that complement this. So things like reward and recognition, our applause tool, our engaged communication tool, that can also all be used on a mobile phone. Moving on to the desktop application, employees can of course use this from self-service as well. So I have all the same functionality in terms of being able to claim my expenses, use my planner to book my holiday, review and change my personal details, view my documents. All of that is visible on the desktop application too. In addition, managers also have visibility of their team members. So as a manager, I can come into my employees' information and see things like their planner and actively manage their absence. So if employees are off sick, I can log that in here. The system will enable me to do return to work interviews and even see things like their Bradford factor scores for monitoring disruptive absence. Again, as a manager, I can also review things like employees' contractual details or view their documents. Managers will also have access to the ATS module, so the recruitment module, in order so that they can manage their recruitment into their part of the organization. So this vacancies area will show me all of the vacancies that I am the hiring manager for. I can click into the vacancies and see the various bits of information relating to that vacancy, including things like approval routes. So vacancies can be approved through various different levels of approvers before they're advertised, and then candidates can log on and apply directly to your jobs through the website. Managers also have access to see those candidates' details. So within here, I can see my candidates' details, I can review their application, and then I can move them through the selection process based on whatever different stages you have within your selection process. The idea here is obviously we move a candidate through the selection process until they're either rejected out of the process or an offer is made to them. When an offer is made to the candidate, the details of them will then transfer into the main body of the HR solution. So it turns their application into a HR record, meaning you don't have to rekey new starters. The information that they enter as part of their application and then the details of the offer that's made to them are simply converted to create an employee record. When I'm logged in as a HR user, I obviously have the ability to see all of my employees. This information can be sliced and diced as I need to, and I can search for employees. So if I go into Fiona Brown's record here, I can see an overview of her, and then I have access into different areas of her record. So for example, I can see her contractual details. So if I want to see a history of all of her different job moves, I can see that there. Likewise, I've got a history of her salary information. And again, I can change any of this as I need to. So if I need to change her job, if she's had a promotion or just a job move, I can easily change it within here. So let's say, for example, she is moving to a payroll manager role. I can enter the effective date, the reason, and it will then record the history of that change. Same with salary. I can add new salaries at any time and change any of these different information as Fiona moves around the organisation. Any information that is put on here which is payroll facing, if you're using our joined up payroll solution, then that information will integrate through to PayCircle automatically. Same as when you set up things like new starters, make people leavers, when employees change their personal details via self-service, all of that information will move across to PayCircle for you, getting you those enhancements in terms of those organizational efficiencies, but also de-risking the process where multiple people have to touch the data. The other thing I just want to draw your attention to in here is our Ripple workflow automation tool. Now, what Ripple will enable you to do is to create your own workflows whereby it sets out specific tasks that employees need to complete based on something changing. So, for example, your Ripple workflow tool could help you automate your onboarding tasks for new starters, in that when you make somebody a new starter, that employee could just automatically be set up within the system and receive a notification that tells them they have a list of tasks they need to do. So here, for example, this would be when a new employee logs in, they see this pop up and it gives them the ability to do things like complete a medical questionnaire or tell us what branded company equipment they need or watch a video on our company values. But this could be set up to include whatever you want. So it might have things in here like asking the employee to complete their bank details or who their emergency contacts are, or review certain policies, or even sign their contract. And you can use that concept and apply it to lots of other different areas of the system. So workflow could help automate things like the probation review process, the leaver process, when employees are going on maternity leave, all of those different areas of an employee life cycle that might need tasks doing. What Ripple Workflow can help automate those processes. The Access button in the top left-hand corner gives you the ability to seamlessly navigate to any other modules that you might have from Access. So for example, if you're using HR but you're also using our learning technology, I can switch between my HR self-service and my learning at the click of a button. The employee data is also automatically shared between these modules where necessary too. So for example, when you set up a new employee in PeopleHR or where an employee is converted from an applicant into an employee, that data also flows through to the learning module. And then rules within learning can then be used to assign the correct training to the new employee based on the employee's attributes, which will come across from PeopleHR. So things such as their job title or their department. This means you don't have to set up employees in multiple different systems, and any changes that are made to them are automatically filtered through to the relevant areas. Evo also allows employees to set up their own dashboards, or spaces as we call them. Spaces can be used to surface key bits of functionality all together on one screen. So here, for example, I've set up a space that contains apps from different areas of the solution, starting with the notice board. Administrators can use notice boards to create and disseminate key bits of information or organisational updates to employees. We also have the feed, which forms part of our Engage suite, which is like a corporate social media. Employees can create posts, they can like, they can comment, and they can also share their colleagues' posts. Other elements of our Engage suite include our applause functionality. This is a reward and recognition tool. And it empowers employees to give their colleagues publicly facing shout-outs which can be aligned to your organisational values. The last part of our Engage suite is Salary Extras, which if I open from this Access button, you can see is a flexible benefit solution. Okay, if I just go back to the Spaces area that I created, I also have the ability to add additional apps on here as well. So employees can take charge and they can specify what they would like to see on their dashboards. I'm going to add an app from our Employee Performance module, which is my Goals and Objectives app. And our goals and objectives functionality allows employees to set their goals, they can align them to organisational goals, and they can update them throughout the year. They can also record check-ins or regular one-to-ones with their managers. The wider part of the Employee Performance Suite includes things like employee appraisals or employee performance reviews, 360 feedback, and also a tool which allows managers to review all of this information for their employees and rate employees on our Path to Great, which is a rating tool that allows managers to pick a rating based on an employee's performance, but also their behavioural performance. Next up, we're going to go through Copilot. So we introduced our AI-powered digital HR assistant, Copilot, and the aim of Copilot is to give all type of users a tool which empowers them to become more efficient by accelerating their day-to-day operational activities and queries. So, for example, if I'm a new employee, I might not be over familiar with how certain things work within the business, so I can use Copilot to ask questions. So, for example, I might say something like, what is the annual leave policy? Copilot will then go away and it will look at all the different policies and it will return key areas of the policy that I've asked for. So rather than me having to go away, find for that policy and then scour through it, it's going to summarize all the key areas for me. It will also give me information regarding any other related documents that I might want to look at. I could also ask a specific question about a policy. So rather than just asking for the policy and me having to scan through and read the result, I could be more specific in my questioning. So I might say something like, how many days can I buy, for example? So again, I can pose the question to Copilot and it will return that specific area of the policy for me. What's really exciting with Copilot is the vision of what comes next in our AI journey for People HR. So we will start to look at adding instructional commands into here too. So I've asked the details of the policy. I might ask Copilot to say, right, can you please go away and book me 2 weeks worth of annual leave starting on the 1st of December? Managers will also be able to ask questions about their team too. So as a manager, I might say something like, how much annual leave is remaining across my team, or who's out next week, or when is so-and-so's probation review? That sort of thing I could ask Copilot to return for me. Your HR users and business leaders will also in the future be able to use Copilot to return analytics. So you might ask a question like, what's our current attrition rate? And because we've partnered with Microsoft, you could also then ask Copilot to create a report for you all about your attrition rate. The next area I want to show you is feed. This is essentially an area which alerts you to your prioritized task list. So much like in People HR, you have the ability to see and manage your task lists of things you need to do. So holiday approvals, things like that. This will give you all of those different tasks, but it'll give you them in one combined task list, along with all the other tasks that you might have to do from all the other elements within the whole solution. So you can see here that I've got a holiday request that I need to approve, but I've also had a shout out for one of my team members that requires me to review it as well. This also helps to prioritize my task list as well. It introduces an element of AI in order to establish what's a priority or an essential task as opposed to one that isn't, which will be moved further down my list. The last element I want to go through for PeopleHR Evo today is our analytics tool. So if I go into my employee area here, our dashboard here will show us a set dashboard that allows you to see analytics relating to your HR organizational data. So here, for example, I've got information on a dashboard that relates to things like headcount, turnover trends, splits by department, attrition rates, and any of these graphs and charts I can drill into. Once I'm in a graph or chart, I can apply different filters. So I might want to change the filter to split this information by different areas of the business, or maybe I want to add different characteristics to it as well. I can even change the date range if I want to. So if I don't want to see that just for November, but I want to see it for the last quarter, let's say, I can apply a filter and it will change the graph for me. Our premium analytics offering gives you all of this, but it also gives you the ability to create your own dashboards. So if I go into People Analytics here, it allows me to see different pre-configured dashboards that I have built and set as a homepage. It also gives me the opportunity to explore guidebooks, which further increases my availability of different data within the system. So for example, if I click on my organizational overview, this gives me lots of different graphs and charts that weren't on that original dashboard. So I can see things like net changes in headcount. I've got different graphs and charts on here which I could choose from. And again, I can drill into any of these graphs and charts and I can change them if I need to. You'll notice on here that the system will also give you key insights. So it will also explain to you what the graph or chart is saying. And it will also provide you with other graphs and charts you might want to explore based on the graph or chart that you're looking at. You can, in Premium Analytics, create captures of these charts. So if this is a chart that I like and I want it to put on my homepage, or I want to create an analysis that I can keep coming back to, I can capture it and then add it to my guides. So on my analysis area, if I come into here, this is a dashboard that I've created by capturing different graphs and charts. This contains information such as my headcount and turnover. I can see where different departments have had different levels of starters and leavers. I might put this on here so I can easily identify if there's a department that's had a really high level of starters or leavers, so I can investigate if there's a problem. I've also got things like employee mobility on here, so it's not just about the changes in overall headcount. I can start to see moves in between departments as well. And then I've added things like breakdowns of headcount on here as well. So headcount by tenure. So I can see that I've got quite a lot of employees that have been with me for a lot less time. And I've only got 6 employees that have between 5 and 10 years worth of service with me. So again, I might use this information to then look at ways in which I can retain staff more readily, and so that we can gradually over time begin to shift the dial and increase the level of experience that we have within the business. I've also then broken down some of my headcount by different characteristics. So I've got my headcount, which is broken down by nationality within here. If I wanted this to be not nationality, but if I wanted this to be gender instead, again, I can just use the system to change it, and I can add that as an additional graph within my dashboard. The last thing that I have added to this dashboard is a trending headcount prediction. So one of the things analytics can do is it can provide you with predictive analytics. Like in this example here, we can see where our headcount is based on the last 12 months. We can then see where it's going to be based on the next 12 months, whilst looking backwards at the previous 12 months data. You can then use assumptions within analytics in order to change what this might look like. So for example, if we had an organizational goal that meant we want to increase our headcount by 5%, let's say, I can change the assumption within here and it will then shift the dial on this graph for me. I can then annotate the graph if I want to then include any milestones or any particular activities that I'm doing in order to help get me where I need to be with regards to my headcount. The last thing I want to go through with these analysis is the ability for you to schedule email delivery of them. So for example, if you wanted to create lots of different dashboards or analysis within here for different audiences, you could then schedule them to be automatically emailed to those people based on whatever cadence you have set up. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how PeopleHR Evo is moving the dial in terms of automation and AI in order to help you empower your employees to become even more efficient and help you hit your organizational goals.
Thank you for watching our insightful demo of Access PeopleHR Evo. I'm sure you're all eager to learn how you can get these new features that can benefit your organization. As we've discussed, AI and data are revolutionizing the HR landscape. PeopleHR Evo is at the forefront of this transformation, offering a suite of tools that leverage AI and analytics to elevate HR functions and improve employee experiences. It's my pleasure to introduce our panel of experts who've joined us today to discuss the transformative power of AI and analytics in the workplace. We have Laura Hansford, Director of Acquisition for PeopleHR at the Access Group. She will be your moderator for today's session. Our panelists are Oliver Quayle, Senior Divisional Director at the Access Group, Fraser Graham, Senior Product Manager at the Access Group, Kevin Lasitz, Senior Partner Development Manager at Microsoft, and Jamie Barton, HR Business Partner at Cloud FM Group.
We are seeing AI and data accelerate the rate of change across professions and industries, and the HR profession is leading the charge on this. The rapid evolution of generative AI following the launch of ChatGPT in November 2022 has given Gen AI the potential to be part of every aspect of our professional and personal lives. It has sparked the interest from both business owners and HR professionals alike on its potential to revolutionize HR processes and create engaging employee experiences. People analytics and AI are the fastest growing areas of HR. This is driven by HR professionals increasingly being expected to be more of a partner to business functions, freeing up their time to support strategic conversations following the automation and employee self-service of traditional ticket-based queries. I am thrilled to have a distinguished panel here today, and we will talk about the transformative power of AI and analytics in the workplace, challenges and opportunities it presents to HR, and we would like to give you some practical tips to help you succeed in this new and exciting landscape. So thank you to my guests for joining us today. First question to Ollie Quayle, Senior Director at the Access Group for the product Evo. Can you help us break down some of the basics of AI? So we hear words like generative AI, we hear things like Copilot. What does it mean to people not in the industry?
Sure. So generative AI is just a branch of AI that really truly understands language. It's been trained to really almost think like a human does about language. So it can do some really great stuff and even create content based on the request of a human without having to communicate in different computer-based languages. So then when you apply that to business, I mean, if you think way back, right, business applications was a green screen and you had to speak computer language to get anything, any value out of it. Then we created the graphical user interface. And so what that did is it allowed you to do drag and drop downs and interact with the computer to get what you wanted out of it. And in the background, it was turning that into computer language to get the information out. Well, now with generative AI, the power it brings is it understands what you want. It understands your intent. It understands what you're trying to do. You can speak to it in a normal language. It goes away and brings that information back to you in exactly the format that you've asked it to. So it really is like speaking to a human. And that's why here we talk about it as a co-pilot, right? If you think about all of your company data and documentation, it can go away and help you in your day-to-day job. You'll always be the pilot, but it's your assistant that can go away and get all that information for you and maybe even summarize it for you in a format that you want so that it's useful for you.
That breaks it down for me. Thank you. Really useful. Kevin Lassett, Senior Partner Manager at Microsoft. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So Evo is the biggest technology investment in Access's history, and we're really excited to partner with Microsoft on it to drive innovation in AI. Can you tell us why you chose a partner in the Access Group?
Sure. Well, thank you again. Access Group is a strategic customer of Microsoft, and we've been collaborating over the past year on how you can leverage Microsoft AI innovations to help you build your Access Evo product. We invest billions in technology, in particular around AI and security. And having the industry-leading cloud platform allows Access Group to really take advantage of the innovations that we've been investing in over the years. So Access is invested in integrating Microsoft Gen AI capabilities into your Access Evo product and extending that with HR specific capabilities, which is great. And Access Group and Access Evo have really kind of leaped ahead by leveraging Microsoft AI innovation and our Copilot.
Jamie Barton from Cloud FM, HR Business Partner, one of our PeopleHR customers. Thank you so much for joining us today.
That's all right. Thank you for having me.
So Cloud FM has been one of our early adopters of PeopleHR Evo with AI. What are some of the challenges and opportunities at the forefront of your mind?
Cloud, we have been quite lucky that we've been given almost free rein to do what we want with AI for the as it's existed for the last couple of years. From our point of view, from an HR point of view, we are a small team, and if you are in HR in a sort of a medium-sized business, you're going to be in a small team, and you're going to be doing all sorts of things. You're going to be doing normal HR stuff. You're going to be doing maybe a bit of payroll, maybe a bit of L&D, maybe visas, all that kind of stuff. So any tool that can be used to help your workload and make life easier and simpler for you is fantastic. So that's sort of where we're coming from with it, and where it's showing value as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Fraser Graham, Senior Product Manager for PeopleHR at the Access Group. Thank you for being here today.
No problems, pleasure.
So AI and analytics are everywhere, and for many it can seem a bit overwhelming and therefore not really relevant for SMBs. What can you do to break down that misconception?
Yeah, so I think the first thing to call out here is with the adoption of a new technology, feeling overwhelmed is a bit of a curve that everyone will go through. And I think our goal here at the Access Group is to really break it down and make it simple for you to adopt. And that's much easier, particularly when we have it within the context, in this case, HR, right? We know that our customers, small to medium-sized businesses, are very time tight, right? As Jamie just called out, you're wearing many hats from a HR perspective, and business owners, and owning multiple facets of the HR operation. And the goal of PeopleHR Evo really is to free up time and deliver that back to HR professionals and business owners. So imagine now having 2 additional employees in your HR team, right? You have a digital HR assistant to support with any administrative or such tasks that you might need to complete, and then analytics as well. You now have an analyst in your HR team that you never previously had. And ultimately the goal of this is to free up time to allow people within businesses to focus on more strategic people initiatives.
And how will that change your life, Jamie? How will that?
Well, it is. We've been using PeopleHR prior to it being an Access product. We've been using PeopleHR for quite a while, and it's always been one of the best things about PeopleHR and Access software is just adding, new stuff all the time. So just having, different things that you can use. My favorite is probably the analytics side of it, because let's not go into why I like analytics, but it's one of those things that can take a lot of time.
Yeah.
And you have people asking all sorts of things. Senior management want all sorts of data, but just being able to piece that together without having to go into Excel, is fantastic.
Multiple Excels, being
multiple Excels,
stitching it together in order to get your answer.
Will it finally be the technology that kills off Excel? The many threats.
Let's not say that with Kevin.
You hit foundation.
Excellent, thank you. And thank you. So Kevin, how is Microsoft using AI in HR?
So Microsoft has 190,000 employees worldwide, 126,000 external staff, and 2,300 in our HR division. And so HR, they deal with about 900,000 support cases and 1.5 million transactions annually. So the HR team basically established a technical architecture and a customer support infrastructure in order to address kind of opportunities to leverage AI to improve their processes. So Microsoft created a number of applications for HR to help kind of improve the response times and such with their employees. So the first key one was an Ask HR virtual agent. And that basically helped with employee self-service to very quickly get answers to the questions in ways that we're talking about here. An HR data analytics, so be able to really run that analysis and get quick access to insights and information from the data that's there. An HR assisted support tool, which helps to generate case studies and get some insights in terms of what employees are asking about. An operational efficiency module, which is citizen-developed applications that help kind of automate some of those routine tasks that happen, and an enhanced candidate engagement. So using Copilot to actually write communications back out to candidates and stuff. Now, this resulted in 26% faster response times. 27% of inquiries were actually handled by the Ask HR virtual agent. 82% reduction in report creation time, and 16% boost in employee satisfaction for HR agents that are using Copilot.
Wow, so we're not talking about marginal gains here. We're talking about changing
Pretty
the game.
Significant, absolutely.
Yeah, huge. Wow. Good. And that would help you if you could match those numbers in your organization with a smaller headcount. It would.
Well, absolutely. I mean, anything. Any half an hour that you can save from not having to, write a letter or whatever it is that you need to do. Then
it all makes sense.
All adds up. Absolutely.
So Kevin, one of the many things that comes up when AI is security and data privacy. What can professionals do, and what questions should they be asking to ensure their data is safe when working with technology?
Sure. Well, AI is absolutely an opportunity, but it can be a threat if it's not managed effectively, right? So Microsoft has experience in this in being the world's largest security company. HR and business leaders should really look at, the key tenets for responsible AI. So fairness, accountability, inclusivity, also reliability, transparency, privacy, and security, right? So Access and Microsoft really embrace those responsible AI tenets to make sure that the solutions that we build are safe and secure. So data access, protection, and security is really paramount. And Microsoft never uses customer data to train our Azure OpenAI models, right? And so from that perspective, we're really making sure that we're designing really safe and secure systems, and that copilots are copilots and they're not, the pilots. So the final decision is always left, with the individual.
And moving on to Ollie, staying on the topic of security, what are Access doing to ensure that our customers' data is safe and secure?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely paramount, right? When you think about it, we've got HR sensitive information and payroll information. I mean, you can't get any more sensitive than that. So we've taken a 3-tier security model. As you've heard from Kevin, what we've taken is Microsoft OpenAI, but we've privately hosted it for each of our customers. So none of that data, nothing that goes into that ever bleeds out into the open world. Nothing ever leaves our infrastructure. So it's secure that way. But almost more important than that, it's permission based, right? So just as you today, when you log into any system, it looks at what is your roles and permissions, what do you have access to, whether it's a document, whether it's operational data, or whether it's a report, you still need that security layer, right? Just because AI can get you that information super fast doesn't mean you should have access to it. So one of the key building blocks that we put was that when you use Copilot, Copilot looks up what are my roles and permissions? What do I have access to? And if you ask any question, it will always give you the answer in the context of what you're allowed to see. So it's very, very secure in terms of the role-based permissions, because as you can imagine, that's absolutely paramount. But the final part of it is personally private.
Yep.
So, we don't know if people are putting personally identifiable information into Copilot. There might be all sorts of things that they're typing in. We can't see any of that stuff, and we'll never be able to see anything that people are putting into Copilot. It's almost like a black box to us, so that it is personally private for each individual. So those three are the company secure, the roles and permissions aligned, but also personally private. They're the 3 tiers for me.
Thanks. And how does that feel for you as a customer to hear that from your data?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. You touched upon not much data, which is more sensitive than HR data or payroll data. So, I mean, any system that we put in, security is a concern, especially a concern with people information or HR information. So, yeah.
Good to hear it. In safe hands. Shifting gears a little bit. We heard from Matt earlier about some of the new PeopleHR functionality that's coming in. Can you shed some light on the product strategy and what's coming on the horizon?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've designed PeopleHR Evo to elevate every stage of the employee lifecycle, right? From hire to retire, and that's both for employees, but also HR teams who are managing all of the unique touch points with employees within the business. And the goal ultimately is to bring the full HR capability together using the Evo experience, right? So what we have today, is people insights using our analytics tool and tying everything together in a single reporting capability. People queries using the HR assistant and Copilot. So tying any question that a HR professional or an employee might have into our Copilot. And then finally, it's about bringing business critical alerts together into a single location using the feed. So essentially, we want to tie the suite together and deliver it with the Evo experience. Looking ahead, it's all about deepening our capabilities. So we're looking at further data that we want to add to both access people analytics and also our Copilot tooling as well, to increase the breadth of information and responses that our customers are able to get back. Another piece that we're looking at delivering very quickly is a mobile offering with Evo. So we know that a lot of our customers have employees working in the field, or perhaps individuals working in their organization don't have corporately owned personal devices. And so mobile is the primary route for them to access PeopleHR. So those are the things that are coming next. And I think, this is really just the beginning of the opportunity, Kevin, as you put it, that we have. So I'm really excited for the future.
Excellent. Huge amounts of technology to leverage, make our customers' lives easier.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
absolutely.
Fraser, staying with you, how has the feedback been from our early adopters, and what are some of the exciting use cases that you've seen so far?
Yeah, thanks, Laura. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. We've had 100 customers using PeopleHR Evo as part of our early adopters program, and it's been really, really exciting to see the great use cases come out, and also the overwhelmingly positive view of the massive investment that we're making into PeopleHR. From a use case perspective, first of all, I think the key or primary use case at the moment is getting information out of PeopleHR in terms of policies. So deferring frontline HR questions to Copilot, right? So any individual within the organization is able to quickly find the information that they need. Another really exciting use case that we've seen is HR professionals in organizations getting answers. And the example that we've got is around, is an employee eligible for paternity leave, for example, right? And this brings together multiple points of data from the HR system to give an answer. So when you prompt Copilot to find out whether an individual is eligible, the first thing that it's doing is going and looking at the paternity policy that's uploaded to PeopleHR, finding out exactly what the employee is eligible for. Most commonly, there's going to be a time delay when an employee starts as to either whether they can take paternity or how long they're able to have. And so Copilot will also go and look at the start date of that employee. And it will give you a response of employee A is eligible, and this is how long they're able to get. And as an individual using the tool, the next thing that I want to do is act on that. So you can very quickly ask Copilot to pull all of that information into an email that allows you to get that out to the employee, saving time through the research stage, but then also in generating the response and acting on it. Jamie, I don't know, you were part of our early adopters program. I don't know if there's anything else that you would like to add to that.
I think just to say that it's great, there are so many avenues that sort of, AI can go down, and the stuff that you're improving is exactly really the sort of stuff that a small HR team, requires to get stuff done. So it's about providing tools, as far as I'm concerned. On a very practical level, you just need to get things done. Yeah. And this just makes things easier to do, whether it's, like I say, my favorite analytics, or whether it's, as you say, writing a letter or anything like that. Just getting that stuff done quicker and easier, is a win for us, which is what you're providing. So yeah, thank you.
And another use case is with people analytics. We now have the tools available for you to undertake tasks such as projecting your headcount based off of a turnover rate and hiring rate that you would expect over the next 12, 18, 24 months. So you can glean a huge amount of insight to report back to senior stakeholders, say, on the flex of the headcount in your organization over a certain period of time.
Ollie, in the race to harness AI and analytics, a burning question on everybody's mind with any new technology is, how do you measure ROI, and is it really going to pay off at the bottom line? How do you help our customers measure this?
Yeah, I think this really is a massive step change here. We're not talking about a 2% here or a 3% here. We're talking about numbers in the, it's twice as efficient. It's 30+%. These are really, really big numbers. If you just take some of those examples we've had, just to go and look at best practice, research some of that best practice itself, write that up, understand where your company is from, your current attrition rate, for example, to pull that data out, to then marry those two things together and come up with a new policy. That whole process, it's almost impossible to say how many hours are going to be spent in that. Whereas Copilot can take that information from reporting, can look at that best practice and make that recommendation in a matter of seconds. So again, depending on the individual use case of the company, whatever's most important to them, it's going to be clear and obvious that the Copilot value is going to be measured in certainly minimum double-digit percentages. But again, it's more over to the customer. What is more important to you, and where do you see the biggest savings? Because I can guarantee you'll be able to see the ROI measurable.
Oh, absolutely. It's not like it's almost like there's an infinite amount of jobs that need to get done in the HR team. So the fact that you can, as you say, just get a policy reviewed, whether it's a case of comparing against your old policy, or using data, as you say, to inform what changes should be made to a policy. That's that could be a day's work, quite easily, that you're just able to take down to 30 seconds, and then you've got a draft at least that you can put together. Obviously, it's important to have someone clarify that stuff.
It's a co-pilot, not a
Co-pilot,
pilot, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So in terms of ROI, it's all there for the taking, I suppose, as you want to use it. It's, infinite almost.
Definitely. It's a really exciting time, especially to work in HR. Fraser, the use of AI in HR is a question of when, not if. However, not everybody knows where to begin on their journey to implement it in their organisation.
Yeah.
What tips can you give people to help them?
Yeah, I think starting small is key here. So we've got some brilliant use cases, some of which we've discussed that our customers are able to use today, right? And so I think, taking a single individual use case and enabling your entire organization. So let's take policies and finding information from policies. I think a lot of individuals that we spoke to whilst we were researching these tools, answering frontline queries was one of the key pieces that they came back with. What if their response is now, have you asked Copilot? And that hits one chunk of time as a time saved, and enables people to and customers to move on to what the next hurdle is or barrier to break down. So incremental steps I think is a good way, and just starting to use it is the best way to learn, right? You're not going to break anything.
Yeah.
You can get started today.
But it's very intuitive though, isn't it? Because you're using your natural language to speak to it. It's not like you have to learn a whole new system or a whole new menu system. It's the thing that we all do daily. It's conversational. So again, it's getting started, I think, is the first thing.
And how important is it for HR professionals to know that everything you ask, the answer is based on the permissions that you have within the HR system? How much comfort does that give you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The thing is, with, if you work in HR, you know that everyone's an individual, that people do things differently. So the worst thing, the last thing that you want, I suppose, is for people to be able to just ask an odd question and get a bit of data that they're not meant to have. So having those permissions in place for that stuff is very important.
On the flip side, also, I mean, it doesn't get hangry or tired, and so it's always consistent, 24/7, and it's using your. I know we like to believe everyone reads all the policy documents, but I don't think they do, and I think it's
no.
It's a great thing that it will always use whatever information source that you've said. Extremely polite, 24/7, using the registered source of information. So,
and over my career, I've spent many hours finding, reading, and understanding a relevant policy document. So it definitely would save me hours as an employee.
Yeah, and I've been there as as an individual myself, where it's I'm thinking about something. I've woken up at 5 a.m. and I'm thinking about something, and just being able to just ask a question and getting an answer. You don't have to wait for someone to come into the office.
Put your mind at ease.
Also, it's really challenging for line managers in organizations, particularly those that are new, to understand how to deal with sort of more complex HR queries, right? So for line managers, it almost delegates the ability to give a response to the employee because they have all of that information, particularly scenarios that you might not come across that often, like a family bereavement, or whether someone can take a sabbatical or things like that. And it empowers line managers to be able to handle that query without, again, having to come to HR to get that information.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because I mean, the thing is, in a small to medium-sized business, HR, as I said, do loads of different things.
Yeah.
They may not be available to answer, a query on what a particular policy is, or a day or something. So just keeping that flow going.
Yeah. It's immediate.
Yeah. And you might want to privately ask some of those questions as well. So maybe not going
Well,
HR yet, and you just want to do a bit of research yourself, and it really helps that happen as well.
having that as confidant, I suppose, is
Yeah.
the word,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Knowledgeable confidant.
Exactly.
Pilot.
Yeah.
Excellent. Ollie, one for you. This is really exciting. What we see today is really exciting, but what's next? What's next for Evo?
Yeah. So Evo, I mean, the clue is in the name. Evo is gonna keep evolving. If you think about the breadth and depth of the products that we have at Access, we have a unique opportunity to really give that more breadth and depth of that generative AI, the Copilot capability. And so, when you think about the interaction between the question that you're asking Copilot, and then the next step, and then the step after, and then what about the recommended step? So we can start to do some really exciting stuff.
Kyle, thank you so much for coming today. That was a really interesting discussion, and I've certainly learned a lot, and I'm very excited about what's coming next for PeopleHR Evo. One question for all of you before we leave is, what one piece of advice would you give to our audience about how they can adopt AI in their organisation? Ollie?
I would say start small, but start. It's we've done the work to make sure it's secure. So now it's about let your people be curious and start. Pick a use case, but start it, because what you'll find is, it will snowball and people will auto adopt it as soon as they become comfortable. So start small, but get it rolling.
Get going. Take the first step.
Yep.
Excellent. Jamie?
I would just say make it available and educate people as to at least some of the possibilities, I guess. There was a time when people didn't know what Google was, so just allowing people access and allowing people to have a go, I think they'll get there naturally.
Excellent. Kevin?
I think creating AI champs, so the subject matter experts that you have in the organization that really understand, the capabilities of AI, and in particular what Evo can do and how to leverage that for PeopleHR. Those people can help to, again, educate and engage people and address any kind of questions or concerns that they might have. And they can also help, people understand the responsible use of AI, just as they would with security.
Excellent. Finally, Fraser?
I think we've created loads of helpful learning materials for admins and also employees, and I think that perhaps this is done by champs, but again, get that out there and share the availability of these tools with individuals in the organization.
Excellent. Really insightful. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
There you have it. We've covered a lot of ground today, from exploring how AI can revolutionize your HR functions to the transformative solutions of our new HR software experience, Access PeopleHR Evo. Thank you so much for joining us today for this insightful webinar on Access PeopleHR Evo and the future of AI and data in the workplace. We hope you found the discussion informative and inspiring. We understand that transitioning to new software can be daunting. That's why we've designed Access PeopleHR Evo with simplicity in mind. Our intuitive interface and streamlined processes make implementation a breeze. Plus, our dedicated support team is always available to assist you every step of the way. If you're ready to take the next step, we're here to guide you. Give us a call and let's discuss how our new products can revolutionize your HR operation. This isn't just about buying a product, it's about forming a partnership. We're committed to helping you achieve ultimate HR efficiency and investing in the future of your business.